The news with Gary Liberatore and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us here on this Wednesday morning. I'm Gary Liberatore.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
3 days of 90-degree temperatures. Could we see 4?
Not today, though.
Oh.
We're saying goodbye to all that very high heat. Yes, but it's still going to be warm out today, humid, and the chance for maybe a thunderstorm or two. Before we get to that, though, a look outside this morning. You mentioned this earlier, Gary. It's a little more dark out this morning compared to the past couple of months, and yeah, we're going to slowly see that daylight time begin to wane, at least during the early morning hours. The temperatures this morning are in the 60s, 69 in Rome, 72 in Syracuse, and 74 the hot spot in Rochester. Now the radar is quiet locally, but look at all this lightning out here in western New York. Now this front is going to be falling apart a little bit as it reaches our area. But this is a pretty impressive lightning show out there. I see lightning strikes totaling 195 just in this section of visible thunderstorms right here heading toward Rochester. So good lightning show out west. But I think the main story, some of you that last night, you might have seen something in the sky that looked like this. And if it looks pretty mysterious, it was actually the Vulcan rocket launch from Cape Canaveral over the sky of New Hartford. This is taken by Jill Reel. So you can see just the cloudiness of the rocket launch there. It looks mysterious, definitely, especially if you're not expecting it. But today, we are tracking mainly dry weather with the chance of a few passing thunderstorms in the afternoon. These could produce a quick downpour or two, but don't count on it for producing sustained rainfall. Following this, we're going to see a slight pattern change. All the details on that coming up in a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. National Guard troops have deployed.
This live look of downtown Cooperstown is brought to you by the Leatherstocking Credit Union.
Welcome back. Time now 5:11. Happy Hump Day, everybody. Today, seeing a bit of a change in the weather pattern. It's still going to be warm, but we're not seeing low 90s again this afternoon. And for one other thing, it's going to be noticeably more humid, which is why today's temperature is starting out in the 70s. A look at the current conditions out there. Still dark for the most part. We are still looking at the early twilight today. When it comes to fog, no major issues of that too. It's trying to form, but we'll see how it develops over the next couple of hours. Traffic tracker, there are accidents reported both in the Albany and Syracuse area. None here locally, though, on the thruway corridor, as well as north and south. So, again, things starting out quiet for much of us. Today, warm start, temperatures in the 70s. By this afternoon, we're going to start to see a few passing thunderstorms and downpours. It's not expected to be widespread, but there's potential for heavy rainfall in some of these. We're going to track those plus what follows this cold front coming up in a few short minutes. Gary?
Boy, do we need that rain.
Hopefully we get, at least some of us get just a good soaking rain.
That's for sure. Eric, thanks. Well, the Herkimer County Fair is once again
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everybody. Time now 5:18, and today, after a pretty dry start, we're going to be tracking some more sunshine and eventually some thunderstorms. Take a look at downtown Utica outside right now. It's clear skies out there for the most part, a few wispy clouds, but things are about to change as we head into the next few hours. But for now, let's take a look at the temperature, which currently sits at 69 degrees with humid conditions out there too. And the radar is dry for the most part, but I want to zoom out a little bit here so we can actually see what's going on. Zoom out right here. We can actually see that cold front moving in. It's going to fall apart a little bit, but still lots of lightning out there in western New York early today. So we look right here at the temperatures this afternoon. We're going to see those highs climb into the mid 80s to low 80s, so a little different than yesterday. Still rather warm. Humidity still, though, pretty high. Dew points in the low 70s, upper 60s. And we'll see that humidity stay high today and early Thursday. Then that secondary cold front rolls through tomorrow. That'll drop that humidity to a very comfortable level Friday and a muggy level on Saturday. Rainfall chances, you can see here, they're not guaranteed. We're still expecting a couple spots of our area to get a couple of thunderstorms, but it's not a widespread, very predictable event like in months past. And we look at the bigger picture here. Look at these fronts. These are what are going to be influencing our weather for the next couple of days. A first one and then a secondary one that arrives on Thursday. Following that, high pressure sets in again, and the rest of the week is looking rather dry. So in our Skycast, this morning it's dry. This afternoon we're going to see those showers and thunderstorms pass over us. It's a bit of a wimpy front. It's going to fall apart as it reaches our area. Maybe a few thunderstorms fire up along the tail end of it, but for the most part, we're not expecting any significant rainfall, widespread significant rainfall like in events past. Then on Thursday, after a dry start, early afternoon, a stray downpour or two, but the rainfall chance is a lot less tomorrow compared to today. And then following Thursday, we dry up again on Friday. Plenty of sunshine, temperatures in the low 80s with lower humidity. So when it comes to rainfall totals, again, don't treat this map like gospel here, but you can see basically the difference between nothing and a lot. And hopefully we get a middle ground here. You don't want to have a whole lot of rain versus no rain. You kind of want just some steady rain, which unfortunately this type of front is not known for that, but either way, we can only hope, right? So the next few days, late Thursday, it's dry. Friday, lots of sunshine. Saturday, a very nice start to your weekend. High of 88. Then in the mid-80s by Sunday with some afternoon thunderstorms turning into the mid-70s to low 80s by the middle of next week. So we got a pretty still warm stretch. Not a whole lot of serious rain chances. So this dry stretch of weather pretty much continues.
Although cooler today, not that much cooler.
Yeah, not as high as the 90s.
Eric, thanks. Well, Taylor Swift has announced the release, and thank you for joining us for this half hour. I'm Gary Lubitor. Well, if you liked our 90-degree temperatures, you're not going to see them today, but it won't be that much cooler. Meteorologist Eric Gage in the Weather Center. And Eric, we're only talking about 5 degrees in difference, right?
Yeah, not a whole lot of difference. 90 to 85, 84, 83. Tomatoes. But it will be a bit more unsettled today. Let's take a look outside. This morning, it's dry out there. We're seeing a few clouds way up in the sky, but again, things are starting out rather quiet. No fog so far in Oneonta, a pretty common culprit there. But we look at the current conditions. Not only are we seeing dry conditions here locally, rain showers in Buffalo and a few thunderstorms in Rochester. So we look at the radar here, and that's what's taking place right now. A couple downpours out west of Syracuse and one stray one in Delaware County. Besides that, a lot of lightning taking place, over 100 lightning strikes in the Lake Ontario, Rochester area alone. So what happens today? This is going to pass mainly north of us. This begins to fall apart a little bit. Yes, we could see a stray thunderstorm or two this afternoon, but for the most part, we're not expecting widespread rainfall. Hopefully we get it, but it's not looking likely. Something else to mention, though, too, if you were up late last night and you looked up in the sky and saw something mysterious like this, don't worry, it's not aliens. It's actually the Vulcan rocket launch. We can actually see it here in central New York. So an interesting sight outside. If you're wondering, again, what it was, well, that's what we saw late last night. So today, it's a mainly dry one to start. A few scattered thunderstorms this afternoon. We're going to track those, plus what follows that heading into the end of the week, coming up in that full forecast. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Anchorage, Alaska will host this.
Channel 2 is brought to you by Holland Farms Bakery in Delhi. This live look of downtown Cooperstown is brought to you by the Leatherstocking Credit Union.
Welcome back, everybody, to News Channel 2 at sunrise. Your photo of the day today is a great shot of a, believed to be a hummingbird moth right here. Yeah, look at this. So taken in Westmoreland. Look at this photo right here. Massive, massive moth there. And if you have a photo like this you'd like to share with us, zoomed up shot of a insect like this, or well, named after a bird too, but send it to WKTV.com/weather/pics. Now, the temperatures this morning are starting out very warm. We are already in the 70s in Whitesboro, 67 Westmoreland, even 70 in Earlville. And as we head throughout the day today, we'll see those highs climb only into the low 80s to mid 80s. So not as hot as yesterday, but we're tracking a few thunderstorms out west. We'll track those coming up in a few short minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. St. Peter's Catholic Church in Rome now
New York's most dependable weather team. Here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
A quiet and warm start today, but we're tracking a few thunderstorms out west that could produce some here locally later on today. Let's take a look at downtown Utica. A quiet morning out there. Traffic starting to pick up. Not quite rush hour just yet, but it's getting there. 69 in Utica right now. It's 69 in Rome, with a dew point of 63, so the humidity is slowly rising again today, and it will be peaking today by this afternoon and this evening, by the way. So we look at the radar, and again, here locally it's mainly quiet, but out west, heavy downpours and thunderstorms near Rochester, but this is mainly shifting its way north. We're going to see a bit of a spotty storm or two on the bottom side of this cold front as it passes over us. So when it comes to rainfall chances today, it's mainly hit or miss. Today's temperatures not hitting the 90s like yesterday. We're only in the low to mid 80s. Still, humidity really starts to ramp up throughout this afternoon. And when it comes to that humidity, it cools down, or at least it lowers a little bit on Thursday, and that cold front drops that by the late afternoon and evening. And then Friday, comfy levels of humidity before the humidity starts to kick in again on Saturday. Rainfall chances still hit or miss today. It depends on location. Not really a good soaking steady rainfall we desperately need for parts of our area, which are running 3 to 6 inches behind average for the past 60 days for rainfall totals. But still, I think what's been saving us for the water tables has been the incredibly damp and snowy winter and early spring. Still, though, the bigger picture shows a series of cold fronts passing over us the next few days. These are not very impressive fronts, and because of that, the storm chances really not that impressive either. High pressure begins to move in Friday, and that's when nice weather arrives for the end of the week and into the start of the weekend. So tracking those storms today, look at that. That front begins to fall apart. Maybe you could fire up a few storms again in the afternoon, but for the most part, it's really just not producing a whole lot of impressive storm structure here. But again, there could be a couple downpours. We're not ruling them out today. Tonight, it's quiet. Tomorrow morning, we could see a stray downpour in the early afternoon before things dry up again, and we see sunshine and low humidity for Friday. But still, just again, looking at that rainfall map, again, don't take this for gospel here, but you can kind of see the variety of downpour, or at least rainfall totals across the area, dependent on location. So it's hopefully we get a bit less of extremely heavy rain and more of a steady, moderate rainfall, but I'm kind of trying my best to usher it in, but I doubt it's going to happen. Either way, though, we got some sunshine on Friday and Saturday. A great start to the weekend.
Well, those lawns are salivating.
Yes, just desperately need some rain.
They need that rain. Eric, thanks. The time right now is 5.
The news with Gary Liberatore and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm Gary Liberatore.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
And that radar looked kind of scary out west, right?
Yeah, a lot of lightning, a lot of thunder, a lot of heavy rainfall. We'll track where that goes here in a couple of minutes here. For now, though, it's quiet, it's warm out there.
Very warm,
Very warm this morning, Gary. Let's take a look outside in Oneonta. It's a quiet morning initially out there early today. A great view of that morning twilight and again the sunrise moments from now. But the temperatures this morning still balmy in the upper 60s to low 70s in the valley, low 60s in the southern valleys in North Country, but 73 out in Rochester where storms are reported. And you can see this right here on the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. Heavy rain and thunderstorms passing over the Rochester area, western New York region. However, a lot of these storms are going to shift their way north, impacting closer to St. Lawrence County, Jefferson County, maybe parts of Lewis County and Oswego County, but here locally, We're going to get more of the bottom side of this right here, which is not really that impressive. And this front that moves in, still not expecting a whole lot of widespread rainfall. We'll, of course, talk more about that coming up in a few minutes, though. But I do want to touch upon this that took place last night. Some of you are probably wondering what was in the night sky that looked like a cloud of dust. Maybe it was aliens. No, not aliens. It's a Vulcan rocket launched from Cape Canaveral that we could see in our night sky. So if you're wondering what it was, don't worry, we're not getting invaded today. It's just a rocket launch, but a pretty interesting sight seeing that in the night sky. Still though, today, a dry start this afternoon. We're tracking a few chances for some thunderstorms passing over us between 2 and 6 p.m. Following that, it does dry out, so we're going to see what follows that rainfall, plus how the rest of the week is shaping up in that full forecast. Gary?
Eric, thanks. National Guard troops deployed.
Welcome back to Sunrise, everybody, on this Wednesday morning. Time now is 6:11. We'll take a look at what you can expect heading outside this morning on your CommuteCast. First off, a look at some area roadways right now. Bridgewater, New Hartford, Boonville, all dry, warm starts, and still plenty of sunshine. For now, there does appear to be some fog trying to form in the Hamilton area this morning, but for the rest of the region, still visibility not too bad. Our traffic tracker, green across the board for the most part. Accidents out in the Albany area, but here locally, no accidents to report of early this morning. So what you can expect today will be a dry morning, temperatures in the 60s and 70s, so a quiet start today. But as we head throughout the afternoon, make sure when you pull into your work to roll those windows up. Don't leave them down today because there's a chance for a passing thunderstorm or two. We'll track those, plus how long they last and what follows these storm chances coming up in that full forecast. Gary?
Eric, thanks. The Herkimer County Fair is
Storm Tracker 2 team, where we track storms. The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everybody. Time now 6:17, going on 6:18 this morning. It's a quiet start. A live look at downtown Utica. A pretty similar scene to the past few days. A sunny start to the day, but unlike the past few days, it won't be nearly as hot. Plus, we're tracking a few thunderstorms out west. However, don't quite see them in the sky just yet. We'll have to wait a few hours to see them. 69 the temperature at Griffiths and Rome, 64 the dew point, humidity slowly on the rise. And here's a look at those thunderstorms right now. Look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. Plenty of lightning, 85 lightning strikes in this storm right here. It's going to shift its way north, and we are expected to see this front today. But we're going to see a little bit more of what's going on down here as it pushes east. A lot less widespread rain and more so pockets of thunderstorms mixed in with sunny skies. So we'll track that here in a minute or so. But for now, again, the temperature today, not nearly as high as yesterday, in the mid-80s. The humidity will be higher, near tropical levels. So we're back to the typical high humidity stretch of weather we've seen pretty much the past couple of months. But there are changes on the way. Tomorrow, it's a muggy start, humid start. And then by the afternoon, the humidity drops following a cold front. We have much more refreshing humidity on Friday before it slowly works in again as we head into Saturday this weekend. Rainfall chances right here. It's dry to start. They increase this afternoon, but you can see the chance category. That's what we're dealing with. This front is not expected to, or at least guaranteed to produce a storm directly over all of our area. Basically popcorn storms here and there. So we look at the bigger picture here, and we are tracking those multiple cold fronts passing over us. The first one arrives today. The secondary one passes over us tomorrow, and that's going to bring the relief to the humidity. Today, though, the first front is going to bring our best chance for rain. Following that, you can see high pressure moving in. It dries up for Friday. So look here in the Skycast. Here's that front moving in, and see what I mean? These storms just fall apart. Now, there's still a chance they can fire up again, scattered thunderstorms throughout the area today, but rainfall totals, it's just luck of the draw whether you get hit with a storm or not. Then, as we head into Thursday morning, it starts out dry, a stray downpour in the early afternoon, then we dry out again as that secondary front really pushes away all that humidity. It's a comfortable and cool start to the day Friday, lots of sunshine, highs in the low 80s. So when it comes to rainfall totals, again, this is not gospel, this is just a general estimate of different types of rainfall totals here. Doesn't mean Cooperstown's going to get an inch and 65 or 65th inches there, but it's still going to be hit or miss showers and storms throughout the day today. Following the rain chances this afternoon, it does dry up Friday and Saturday. Storm chances again on Sunday, then in the upper 70s, low 80s next week. Summertime still kicking on, and this mainly dry pattern also still kicking on. So the lawns slowly getting a little more dry.
Yeah, they need it today. Let's hope.
Yes.
Eric, thanks. Well, Taylor Swift has announced the release once again, and thank you for joining us for this half hour. I'm Gary Libitor. Meteorologist Eric Gage over in the Weather Center. And Eric, I know you're keeping an eye on those dangerous storms out to our west, right?
Yeah, lots of lightning, heavy rainfall. Thankfully, none are severe, but we're going to keep a close eye on them. But for now, though, Gary, we're trying to do a sunrise. Look at that shot out there in Oneonta this morning. Let's take this full screen right here. We can see the great shot of that morning sunshine. It's been a pretty common sight the past few days, but again, today things are going to turn a little more unsettled, and it won't be nearly as hot as that heat wave we officially hit, by the way, yesterday, hitting over 90 degrees. 69 in Rome, 63 Hamilton, sunshine here in the valley, and again, storms reported in Rochester, where you can see that front passing to our west. Now, this is going to move its way into our area. Lots of lightning, 83 lightning strikes still right now. This is down from earlier this morning, so the front is weakening a little bit, but still typical thunderstorm with the risks of heavy rain, lightning, can't be ruled out. But we will say this, is as the storm pushes east, they're going to produce more of the scattered variety of thunderstorms, meaning that it's luck of the draw whether you get hit with a beneficial rain shower or not. So we'll track those in a little bit more detail coming up in a couple of minutes. But I do want to touch upon this. A lot of emails, a lot of messages overnight from this in the night sky. You might have seen this hazy, what appeared to be a lot of people mentioning aliens. This was not aliens, by the way. This is the Vulcan rocket launch from Cape Canaveral that you can see right here. This is taken, sent in through our social media from Joe Reel here. You can see the great shot of that rocket launch out in the distance. So pretty interesting sight out there in the night sky last night. Today, though, we're looking at dry weather for the most part this morning, this afternoon, tracking a few thunderstorms, highs in the 80s. Following today, we'll see what comes when it goes to the lack of rainfall again later on this week, plus how the weekend is shaping up in that full forecast. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Anchorage, Alaska will host this.
Omni, we've got your back.
This live look of downtown Cooperstown is brought to you by the Leatherstocking Credit Union.
Welcome back to Sunrise, everybody, on this Wednesday morning. We're already midway through the week here, and after several days of high heats and lots of sun, today won't be nearly as hot. Plus, we get to see a chance of a few beneficial downpours, hopefully more numerous than what we're predicting. We'll talk about that here in a minute or so. But for now, let's showcase our photo of the day, which takes us to Westmoreland. Shout out to those of you watching from Westmoreland this morning, and it's of a hummingbird moth. You ever seen these things before? You would see it out of the corner of your eye. You might think it's actually a hummingbird. They are huge, and they are a pretty interesting thing to see here. So amazing photo right here of a very large insect. I believe they're peaceful. I don't think they bite at all, but still a pretty scary one if you're not a fan of bugs. Send your photo to WKTV.com/weather/pics for the chance to be photo featured right here on News Channel 2 at sunrise. Again, I'm talking about that storm chance today, what follows it, and how much rain we could see in that full forecast. Gary?
Those moths here in the studio.
I hope not. Sounds like a helicopter, maybe.
Eric, thanks. Well, St. Peter,
New York's most dependable weather team. Here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
There's plenty of sunshine to start your day today. Similar starts to the past few, but the humidity increasing, and also those storm chances this afternoon. Let's take a look at downtown Utica, a live view outside. It's a beautiful scene out there as the morning rush hour starts to set in. Temperature sitting at 69 degrees at Gripus in Rome, 64 dew point, so that humidity slowly on the rise. The radar picking up on a few thunderstorms out west. Some of these stronger storms, lots of lightning, are pushing to our north. We're going to see a bit of a chance of on and off thunderstorms today as that front passes over us. It's weakening a little bit, so it's not going to be an organized line of some strong winds. So today, just typical garden variety passing thunderstorm potential. Today's highs climb into the low 80s, so not nearly as high of a temperature like yesterday. And the humidity also near tropical levels today. But following a cold front, a secondary front tomorrow, things begin to dry up by Thursday evening with refreshing humidity on Friday before we see that humidity slowly return in the second half of the weekend. So when it comes to rainfall chances today, you can see that there's a chance of rainfall this afternoon into the evening. It lowers tonight, same thing late tomorrow morning, and then it dries out by tomorrow evening. So when it comes to the storm chances, this is due to multiple fronts, but these fronts, again, not really that impressive. These are not strong fronts. These are just passing over us, lightly firing up a few thunderstorms over our area. Following the secondary front tomorrow, high pressure sets in and it dries up just in time for the weekend, at least the first half of the weekend. Sunday might look a little bit more on the unsettled side. But again, back to that short-term forecast. Today, you see that front weakening over us. A few scattered thunderstorms. It's luck of the draw whether you get hit with a downpour. Either way, this would be beneficial rainfall if you do get hit with it, just as long as the rain is not heavy as it could be. But still, any rain is beneficial at this point. Then by tomorrow, after a quiet start, passing downpour possible, but rain chances a lot less tomorrow. The main difference, though, that secondary front is going to push away all that humidity. We get a north wind heading into Thursday night and into Friday, which means we're going to get that lower humidity set in just in time for the last day of the work week and into the weekend. Still plenty of sunshine is expected. Still, though, with rainfall totals, this is not gospel. This is just an idea of the total differences between some of these storms. You can see the difference going between half an inch to an inch. Some spots, not even a single drop of rain at all. So it's luck of the draw on whether you get a storm or not today. Either way, roll up those windows when you head to work. Don't leave them down in case you get hit with a downpour. Then by tomorrow, after the afternoon, things dry up. Sunshine in full force Friday, a beautiful end of the work week. Saturday looking nice, temperatures in the mid upper 80s. Few storms on Sunday, then dry weather returns again Monday and Tuesday. So we have a serious lack of rainfall, but I will say the sunshine, I'm enjoying the sun, Gary.
Yeah.
It's so sunny out. I went golfing yesterday.
Nice.
It was hot, but it wasn't too bad. I'm getting used to the warmth now.
I know Dad loved it for
Yes.
sure. That's for sure. Eric, thanks. MVCC men's soccer is
The
getting...
news with Gary Lipitor and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm Gary Lipitor.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
And we did see a bit of rain this morning. I know when I was out, it came down pretty hard for probably about 3 or 4 minutes.
Yeah, ended quickly, and then sure enough, the valleys are pretty quiet since. Southern Valley is a different story, though, Gary. Let's take a live look on the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar, where, as we can see here, some thunderstorms passing over pretty much the southern valleys. That's where much of the activity is taking place right now. But let's zoom in right here. We can see much of this activity also passing through the southern tier. Lots of lightning strikes at this time. Let's zoom in once more. Passing through New Bern, it looks like, a downpour north of Morris. Just outside of Cooperstown, outside of Milford. In fact, it's heading out closer to the border of Delaware and Otsego County. right early this afternoon. A live look at Oneonta. It's still quiet in the city there right now, but it depends on when these storms fire up. Mainly southern valleys are where those storms are taking place. But for the rest of the state, it's just basically a waiting game, whether you see a storm or not. But much of that activity will fall generally south of the thruway. So the next 12 hours, chance of a stray storm this afternoon. Other than that, it does dry up tonight. A stray downpour tomorrow. And then we're going to see a change in the weather pattern with some lower humidity and even some lower temperatures. We'll track that coming up in just a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Brand new this noon because
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good afternoon, everybody. Today has been a mix of a sudden downpour, some sunshine. The most notable thing, though, at least everyone's been experiencing, is that increase in humidity. We'll talk all about that here in a second. First, though, live look at downtown Utica. A little busy out there. 77 degrees in the city. It is sitting at 77 in Rome with tropical levels of humidity. It has moved in fairly quickly. 2 days ago, it was an incredibly dry air, but now, of course, things have changed. And the radar is mainly quiet over the Mohawk Valley, but those of you in the southern valleys are getting your fair share of some scattered thunderstorms. And some of these are producing a good amount of rain, one that actually just passed through parts of South New Berlin and New Berlin moments ago. The heaviest downpours heading out toward the capital region out here, but again, much of this storm activity taking place in the southern valleys. Now, the temperatures today, no longer we're seeing 90s, mainly the low 80s. So a bit of a cooler stretch relatively, but again, that heat index, or at least the dew point, still rather high. And we'll see the humidity drop a little bit tomorrow. That cold front, a secondary one, moves in. That's going to drop the humidity big time as we head into Thursday evening. Friday's looking beautiful. Saturday, humidity increases a little bit. And again, the rain chances today, hit or miss. And more miss than hit for a lot of us, but again, Southern Valley's best shot for rainfall today. Then following that, you can see the rainfall chances pretty much diminish by Friday itself. The reason for it, two cold fronts, a series of them passing over us. Secondary one passes over us on Thursday. Then you can see here, high pressure sets in, bringing beautiful weather into our area for the end of the week. So that front is moving in, see a few storms firing up, mainly in the southern valleys. Following that, it does clear out tonight. Then, tomorrow, chance of a passing downpour as a secondary front rolls through. That'll really usher in that lower humidity by the evening hours. Then Friday, looking beautiful. Temperatures in the 70s to start, climbing into the 80s by the afternoon with just fantastic weather expected. Again, rainfall today, hit or miss. Some of these downpours producing half an inch of rainfall, other spots barely any rain at all. But we still are tracking some more sunshine arriving later on this week. Friday and Saturday, dry weather. Then Sunday, a few thunderstorms passing over us again, and temperatures cooling down even more as we head into Monday and Tuesday next week. Highs in the upper 70s, low 80s. So for now, it's still seasonable, low 80s. We might start to see a bit of a temperature change as we head into next week, as the long-term pattern shows not nearly as high temperatures, Gary. So changing seasons, still far away, but we might notice a bit of difference in temperature.
we'll see.
Yeah.
Eric, thanks. The Cornell Cooperative Extension is meteorologist Eric Gage joining us now, and some pop-up storms are popping up at this hour, but they're to the south of us, right?
Yeah, a lot of this activity in the Catskills, southern valleys. Not so much going on up here in the Mohawk Valley. Let's take a look here in the radar. We can see what's going on right now. And again, this activity mainly staying south. So looks like one of our models we had this morning seemed to be working out pretty well with the positioning of some of these storms here. This front was weakening and then reorganizing, and in the process of that, it's very difficult to pinpoint exactly where these storms fire up. In this case, we got a couple of them passing through the southern valleys. Oneonta about to get hit with some storms, at least in a few minutes. It just passed through Morris, heading through Otsego, and eventually again hitting parts of Oneonta a few moments from now. In fact, at a live view of Oneonta, the sky is getting a little darker, and probably within the next 20 minutes or so, probably toward the end of the show, we can probably see some pretty heavy rain falling right here. So we'll track that here throughout the afternoon. Still, temperatures a lot cooler than yesterday by about 10 or so degrees into the upper 70s, low 80s. But the difference is that humidity. It's really kicked in today. And we still could see a straight downpour thunderstorm in the evening hours. That front, we still have another front coming in tonight and tomorrow. And then things begin to quiet down with some lower humidity. We'll track that. Plus, again, the latest on that rainfall for the next couple of days in that full forecast. Gary?
And Eric, this is something you might be interested in right here. The U.S. Geological Survey has released a time-lapse video showing rising water levels of glacial lakes near Juneau, Alaska over July and August. The release comes as forecasters warn residents in Juneau to prepare for significant flooding with a glacial outburst underway. The city of Juneau said glacial flooding was expected around Mendenhall Lake and River this week and urged residents in those affected areas to evacuate. Wow. The White House says it is...
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good afternoon, everybody. Today, plenty of sunshine to start, mixed in with a few thunderstorms. Now, the Mohawk Valley got a couple of downpours earlier on. Now, this afternoon, it's concentrating more in the southern valleys. Downtown Utica, it is a quiet afternoon early today. Tropical levels of humidity, the key here. That humidity is really starting to increase. In fact, downpours on their way in parts of the southern valleys. That's where much of that storm activity is taking place, and probably in the next 10 or so minutes we'll take a look in Oneonta and see how those storms are shaping up. But a lot of these actually impacting much of Delaware County too, and close to the southern tier in Broome County. But either way, still on and off storm chance is expected. There's still a chance of a stray storm in the Mohawk Valley this afternoon, but these storms are not really firing up with a good organization. They're hit or miss for the most part. Temperatures today cooling down into the low 80s. And we're saying cooling down into the 80s. That's how hot it's been the past few days. We officially hit a heat wave yesterday with 3 days above 90. But the main thing, though, the humidity on the high side today, it's going to lower a whole lot in the next few days. A secondary front arrives Thursday. Humidity drops big time on Friday, before returning a little bit again on the muggy side by Saturday. Rain chances, again, chance for the next 12 or so hours. And then by tonight, it quiets down. Tomorrow, straight downpour. Friday is looking completely dry. So what's causing this storm chance today? We have a series of cold fronts. We got one right here and one right here. And the leading edge of it producing a few thunderstorms. This first one arrives this evening. Secondary one arrives tomorrow afternoon. And then following that, we're going to see a difference in the weather as high pressure returns again by the end of the week. So here in the Skycast, those storms firing up in parts of our area. Again, not really that widespread. Luck of the draw when it comes to rainfall. Then tomorrow morning, dry start. In the afternoon, that cold front, the secondary one, moves through. This, again, could fire up a few showers along the line, but the main story is going to be that drop in humidity by the evening and overnight. Then a cool start to your Friday in the 50s and 40s, warming up into the 70s, eventually low 80s by Friday afternoon. So it's going to be a beautiful day for your Friday, and plenty of sunshine as a nice start to the weekend begins. But still, the main thing is just how dry it's been, and it's going to be a while before we get some consistent, steady, day-long rain. We have these downpours, and it's luck of the draw. If you get a downpour, that's just good news there. Hopefully your lawns are going to appreciate it a whole lot, but just for the next several days, no real major, sustained, steady rain. So we have plenty of sun, though, plenty of warm weather, so we have that in mind, but I guess at some point we do need the rain.
Yeah.
But, oh well.
Who would have predicted bring on the rain, right?
Yeah, bring on the rain. Several months ago.
We need it.
Yeah.
Eric, thanks. Well, researchers conducted a...
Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis. Scattered storms around the area, but nothing widespread. No, and unfortunately not, in the sense that we need the rain. But some of us had it, some of us didn't. Right now we have a few showers and a few downpours across the southern valleys. It's the southern valleys that saw the most rainfall today compared to elsewhere. These showers are moving to the east, so we're in the process of seeing some changes in our weather. I can't rule out a brief pop-up shower this evening as a cold front's on the way. It's still very humid outside, 82 degrees. Dew point 68, didn't hit 90 today, so the heat wave has come to an end. Looking at our weather headlines, turning less humid tonight, tomorrow, sunshine returns. Looks like a nice stretch of weather here heading into the weekend. It looks like our next chance of rain will be on late Sunday. Scattered storms are possible this evening, but again, for the most part, partly sunny skies and still humid out there. But we are tracking a drop in the humidity and much more comfortable temperatures. Look at the forecast coming up. Jason, back to you.
Bill, thank you. The town of Westbrook.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. We're tracking a cold front moving in from the west. It is producing a few scattered thunderstorms in central New York. It's a broken line, which means not every place has gotten rain today. We'll take a closer look. There are some downpours along the Herkimer Oneida County line along Route 20, the Route 20 corridor. These are moving east, and there's a few isolated showers here. This one in central Madison County. Not a lot of lightning with this, but there is some locally heavy rain. The heaviest rain today fell across the southern tier, especially in Delaware County, where several inches of rain fell. This line continues to move to the east, and for the most part, we're going to get a chance to see less humidity here as the front heads to the east. We'll get a chance to see a decrease in clouds as well. A reminder, you can always get our Storm Tracker 2 weather app. It's free, it's easy to download, and you'll get weather notifications. Did you see something strange in the sky last night around 10:30? Something that looks like this. Turns out this was a rocket launch. Wish we knew this ahead of time, but this is something that is very uncommon to see. A lot of times we will see rocket launches up the East Coast, and they're not always visible, but this one was. This picture was taken by Kendra, and we got a lot of photos on social media if you want to take a look, including some video. Looking ahead, the humidity is going to drop. In the wake of this cold front, it turns less humid tomorrow, but the most comfortable day looks to be Friday. Then the humidity starts to build back in for the weekend as temperatures start to warm up. It's just that time of the year. So we look at the radar and satellite image. Cold front moving to the east this evening. Some stronger storms heading into southern New England. But again, this is moving away from us. And we'll get a chance to dry out. In fact, dry weather, if you do have to cut the lawn, I know the lawn has not been growing very quickly with so much dry weather. You do have opportunities to cut the lawn over the next several days. Our MoCast is brought to you by Clinton Tractor. Bigger picture showing the cold front moving to the east tonight, decreasing clouds. Overnight lows drop into the upper 60s. It was a pretty warm night. Some patchy fog by tomorrow morning. Clouds give way to sunshine tomorrow afternoon. A pleasant day. Winds from the north. Temperatures climbing to the mid-80s. Tomorrow night, mostly clear. We're down into the 50s, so it will be a much more comfortable night for sleeping. Give the air conditioner a break. Sunshine Friday, low humidity, a beautiful day. Temperatures close to 80 degrees. Mostly cloudy tonight, 68 for the overnight low. Tomorrow, clouds give way to sunshine. Pleasant day, again noticeably less humid, 85. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. Sunny skies Friday, Saturday, a nice start to the weekend. Temperatures will be in the mid to upper 80s. It does turn increasingly more humid as we head into the weekend. Thunderstorms possible Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. Some cooler weather to follow. Highs in the 70s as we head into early next week.
Thank you.
Well, torrential predicted hurricane of the 2025 Atlantic season.
Laura Aguirre reports on a Wednesday of wild weather and more to come in the days ahead.
I'm a little shaky.
Hamilton County, Tennessee resident Yelena Butler happy to be on dry, high ground after rescuers pulled her car to safety from rushing floodwaters.
It's just really scary.
Torrential rains in and around Chattanooga Tuesday made it the second wettest day on record for the city, in some cases making it hard to tell if vehicles were driving or floating down the highway.
I don't even know how to explain it. It was just, I've never seen anything like this.
Water rescue teams used boats to reach people and pets trapped in their homes and vehicles. County officials say 3 people, including a child, were killed when a tree fell on their car in the suburb of Eastridge. More storms are expected for the area today, risking more flash floods on deeply saturated ground. In Alaska, a gushing glacier has prompted a preemptive state disaster declaration. Authorities say glacial runoff into what's called Suicide Basin is overflowing into the Mendenhall Lake and River, which is expected to crest today, reaching over 16.5 feet. Juneau city leaders warned people living within the river's flood zone to leave Tuesday night, but stopped short of mandatory orders. Another force of nature is brewing in the Atlantic Ocean, Tropical Storm Erin. Meteorologists predict it could become the first hurricane of the season, potentially a major one over the coming days. They're tracking it to pass north of Puerto Rico and the Dominican Republic early next week, but say it's still too early to know if or where Erin would hit the U.S. I'm Laura Aguirre reporting.
Coming up, Cornell Cooperative Extension in Oriskany is getting bigger.
Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
So we're tracking the meteor shower. For those of you that were out watching last night, we did get a few folks seeing some shooting stars. There's going to be the chance of seeing it over the next couple of days. Tonight we're contending with some cloud cover, but you might be able to see this through the clouds, especially closer to midnight. And even over the next couple of days, the Perseid meteor shower is going to continue. We've had folks seeing about 20 meteors per hour during its peak over the past couple of days, but you want to look to the northeast. Ideally after midnight is better, but again, we've had folks seeing shooting stars even after sunset, a few hours after sunset. Live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. A few scattered showers out there this evening. A cold front is moving through. Not much colder weather on the other side of this, but we will see a drop in humidity. Temperatures will be in the mid-80s as we head into the weekend. The warmest day looks to be Saturday. If you're taking the dog out for a walk this evening, again, a passing shower, a rumble of thunder is possible. Temperatures will gradually cool off. Wilbur and Milo from Little Falls, tonight's featured dogs. If you want to be part of this, head to Skycast WKTV on Facebook. This is brought to you by Nissan. Kristen, back to you.
All right, Bill, thank you. Grocery.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. Very humid today. That's been a big change. We didn't hit 90, but it was a very warm and very stuffy afternoon. Live looking downtown Utica, 82 degrees. It's still pretty humid out there. It's dry. We've been keeping an eye on the radar today. Some hit or miss showers and a few rumbles of thunder have been taking place. This is a live look at the radar. And across the southern valleys, we are seeing a few scattered showers. There's not a whole lot of rain here. There's no lightning being detected. These are moving to the east. Can't rule out a brief pop-up shower as the cold front approaches from the west, but I think many of us will escape this evening rain-free. We actually could use it. It's been a very dry stretch of weather here for the past 2 months. We're about seeing half as much rain in general across central New York compared to normal. A reminder, you can download our Storm Tracker 2 weather app, get weather information on the go. The air conditioner has been getting a workout all summer long if you have it. If you are going to be using it, I think most likely it'll be Saturday and Sunday here. In fact, I think you might even be able to turn the air conditioner off as we head into Friday and Friday night. We've got some much cooler weather on the way. But again, it doesn't last for very long. We're back to more humid conditions heading into the weekend. Cold front continues to move to the east. Stronger storms ended up forming in New England. Lots and lots of lightning in southern New England right now. Again, that's moving to the east. Skywatchers checking in. Temperatures are in the 80s. Whitesboro, 83 degrees. Helen and Cassville, 83. Mike and New Hartford, a very humid 85. Jeff and Mohawk, 83. Hartwick, 72. Some rain here has cooled temperatures off. Worcester, 72. And Westford, 74. So you look at the Storm Tracker 2 Skycast heading into this evening. The weather gradually starts to calm down where those showers are. We're expecting the weather to dry out. Partly cloudy skies. Some fog is expected to develop first thing tomorrow morning. That should burn off in the mid-morning. We'll see sunshine, a very pleasant day. Temperatures climb into the mid-80s. We'll notice less humidity tomorrow afternoon. Tomorrow night, mostly clear and cooler. Give the air conditioner a break. Overnight lows drop into the 50s. Friday looks like a really nice day. Lots of sunshine, low humidity, warm. highs in the low 80s. Mostly cloudy tonight. Low temperature of 68. Again, some valley fog is expected first thing in the morning. We'll see sunshine in the afternoon, and again, less humidity. Still a warm day, 85. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. We stay in the mid-80s heading into the weekend. Sunny skies Friday, 86. Mostly sunny Saturday, 88. Cold front arrives Sunday, produces some showers and storms, and those linger around into early next week. High temperatures in the upper 70s Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. We'll be right back.
Look at the forecast with Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
And we've been watching the radar today with a couple of scattered showers and a few rumbles of thunder, but this was hit or miss as expected. We do have a few showers along the Route 20 corridor. These are moving to the east, and while we can't rule out a passing shower as a cold front rolls through, I think a lot of us are going to miss out on some much needed rainfall. 83 degrees is the current temperature. Dew point's still 68, still very humid outside. So the cold front hasn't really moved in yet. This will be moving through tonight. We will see that drop in humidity for tomorrow. Sunshine returns tomorrow afternoon. Looks like a nice stretch of weather here heading into the weekend. Our next chance of widespread rain looks to be Sunday. Scattered storms are possible this evening, but again, many of us will stay dry and it remains humid. We are tracking a drop in humidity, a lot more comfortable weather. In fact, maybe even some nights to give the air conditioner a break. Take a look at the cooler temperatures ahead. Look at the forecast coming up. Jason, back to you.
Bill, thank you. State Police.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. We're tracking a cold front moving in from the west. This is going to cause the humidity to drop. It's going to feel a lot more comfortable this time tomorrow. It's live look at downtown Utica. We made it into the mid-80s today. We didn't hit 90, so the heat wave officially ends today. We had 3 days in a row that had temperatures in the 90s, but we didn't make it today. Live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. We're seeing a few scattered showers across the Route 20 corridor. These are moving east out towards Brookfield, Richfield Springs, Sherburne, Edmonston. Again, these are moving east. A brief sprinkle is possible, a brief shower. And this goes for all of central New York. This cold front hasn't moved in yet, and there's always the chance that it could produce a brief pop-up shower here over the next couple of hours. We will get a chance to see less humidity. The humidity drops beginning tonight. Reminder, you can always get weather alerts to your phone by downloading our Storm Tracker 2 weather app. Air conditioner. It's been getting quite the workout this summer if you've had it. You could give it a break here heading into tomorrow night and Friday. We're looking at lower humidity, cooler nights ahead. But I think you'll need it again heading into the weekend. The humidity starts building again. Temperatures will be on the rise. The one thing you probably haven't done very much of this summer is cut the lawn. It's been so dry. We've had about half as much rainfall as we typically do over the past 2 months. But if you do need to cut the lawn, Thursday, Friday, Saturday should be pretty nice. Our MoCast is brought to you by Clinton Tractor. Scattered storms today as a cold front continues to move to the east. Skywatchers checking in. Temperatures in the 80s. Bob and Clinton 84, Barneville to 80 degrees, Newport, Jason 84. Cooler across southern valleys, a few showers here. Westford, a more comfortable 74. Skies look partly to mostly cloudy tonight. We're expecting fog to develop by tomorrow morning. So a cloudy start to the day, but the weather does improve. We're expecting sunshine, lower humidity. Pleasant day tomorrow, highs in the mid-80s. Cooler tomorrow night. Overnight lows will drop into the 50s. On Friday, we're expecting plenty of sunshine, a really nice day. High temperatures in the low 80s. Tonight, mostly cloudy, low of 68. It turns less humid tomorrow. It's still warm. Partly sunny skies, highs in the mid-80s. Storm Tracker 2's 7-day forecast. Warm weather heading into the weekend. Sunny skies Friday, Saturday. Temperatures in the mid to upper 80s. Cold front arrives on Sunday. Showers, thunderstorms. That lingers into Monday and Tuesday. Temperatures will be cooler next week, highs in the mid to upper 70s.
Bill, thanks.
Still to come. Time now for a first look at the forecast with Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis. Maybe you're going to the fair tonight. Maybe you're going to the fair Well, tonight's probably closed, but tomorrow in Herkimer County.
They might not like it if you do that.
I know.
You might end
Don't
up
show up. Well, stand outside the fairgrounds and look up at the sky. How about that?
There you go. Should have a nice view of the Perseid meteor shower. We talked about this yesterday. Good views tonight, too. So just a reminder, this is not something that just happens in one day. You can get out and enjoy this. We've had a lot of people have a lot of success of seeing shooting stars. Just want to be away from city lights and look to the north and east. And skies are looking clear. We're looking at dry conditions to the north. If you are in our northern part of our area, and if you look to the north, you might be able to see a few flashes of light. There's a pretty potent storm near Watertown that's going to be moving out of our area, but that might be viewable tonight with some lightning strikes. Current temperature 72 degrees. It's warm. It's still very humid out. The cold front itself doesn't roll through until tonight. Temperatures are going to be in the 60s. It's going to be uncomfortable for sleeping. Good night to run the air conditioner. But the humidity drops tomorrow. It's going to feel a lot more comfortable over the next couple of days. I've got to look at the forecast coming up. Jason, back to you.
Bill, thank you. The town of Westmoreland.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. We are taking a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. It's a very humid night across the region. There are a couple of showers out there to the north and west, and I'm just pointing this out because we might have a brief shower here tonight. This is the leading edge of a cold front. Some thunderstorms up towards Watertown and a few out towards Buffalo. There's a pretty low chance of this happening overnight, but it's not zero. Reminder, you can always get weather alerts to your phone by downloading our Storm Tracker 2 weather app. In the wake of this cold front, we're going to see a dramatic drop in the humidity, and it begins tomorrow. Dew points will be down in the low 60s, will drop into the upper 50s Friday, and then things start to climb again by the weekend. For those of you that have been running your air conditioner nonstop here this summer, I do have some good news. I think you'll be able to give it a break as we head into tomorrow night. The humidity does start to back off a bit, but it's back as we head into the weekend, along with the warmer weather. So it's been a hot summer, and that streak is going to continue at least for the short term. For those of you that have to cut the grass, you can pick your day. I know the grass hasn't been growing all that much, but if you do have to cut, you have plenty of options. Tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, our Mowcast is brought to you by Clinton Tractor. Bigger picture shows, again, that cold front rolling in. Skies are clear now, but we should see some fog roll in tonight. Temperatures are going to drop into the upper 60s, and we'll start out with some patchy fog first thing in the morning. If you're heading out early in the day, you might run into that, especially in lower elevations. 8 o'clock in the morning, temperatures will be in the upper 60s. Any fog that's around burns off. We're expecting a very pleasant day, a warm day. Highs will climb into the low to mid 80s, but it looks mostly dry. Tomorrow night, clear skies, overnight lows drop down to the 50s. Friday looks like a really nice day, less humidity, very comfortable temperatures will climb into the low 80s. Tonight, mostly cloudy. Again, there's a very low chance of a passing shower, maybe rumble of thunder as the cold front rolls through. Low temperature of 68. Tomorrow, partly sunny skies, pleasant, less humid, light breeze, 85. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. Sunshine Friday, 86. The humidity builds back in for the weekend. We're up to 88 on Saturday, mostly sunny skies. A cold front arrives Sunday. It produces showers and thunderstorms. Highs in the mid-80s, scattered showers and storms. Cooler weather, but still pretty comfy, especially for this time of the year. Highs in the upper 70s Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday.
And less humidity as we get towards that part of the week, right?
That's right, yes.
All right, thank you, sir. Coming up next, time now for a first look at the forecast with Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis. Great night to get out and once again see the meteor shower.
Yeah, just a reminder that this is going to be going on for the next couple of weeks. Best viewing is over the next couple of days. It peaked out last night, but we've had a lot of people have success with this, 20, 30 meteors per hour.
Wow.
Being out in the dark helps. You want to be away from city lights and look to the northeast anytime after midnight. And tonight is a pretty nice night to look at this because skies are generally clear. We'll have some valley fog that will roll in tonight, so that will start to obscure the sky. But again, for the time being, things look pretty quiet. It's a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. We have a cold front that's going to be moving through tonight. Hasn't made it here just yet, so it's still very humid out there. Dew point 67, current temperature 70. It is going to be a warm and muggy night. Overnight lows drop into the upper 60s. That is it. So good night to run the air conditioner. We are tracking a much more comfortable day tomorrow. Nice stretch of weather ahead. If you look at the forecast coming up. Jason, back to you.
Bill, thank you. Town of West Berlin.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. It's a nice night out there. It's live looking downtown Utica. 70 degrees. It's warm. It's humid. Kind of uncomfortable for sleeping. I'm going to run the air conditioner tonight. Temperatures are not going to fall much further. We're looking at dry conditions on the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Look to the north, though. There's a thunderstorm over Watertown, and those of you that live to the north, you might see a few flashes of light looking far to the north. This storm is heading to the east, so it's not going to make it into our area. But this is part of a cold front, which will be arriving tonight. A reminder, you can always get weather information to your phone by downloading our Storm Tracker 2 weather app. Humidity is going to drop tomorrow and Friday. It's going to feel a lot more comfortable over the next couple of days, but it's only temporary. It does look like the humidity builds back in for the weekend, and it does become more uncomfortable. The air conditioner, if you have it, it's been getting a lot of use this summer, I bet. You should be able to give it a break here heading into tomorrow, especially tomorrow night. Temperatures will be a lot more comfortable on Friday, but then Saturday and Sunday, the humidity is back, and again, you're probably going to be using it. Something you probably haven't used much of is the lawnmower. It's been really dry. We've had about half as much rainfall as we typically do over the past 2 months. But if you do have to cut the grass tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, all good choices here. Our Mowcast is brought to you by Clinton Tractor. We do have a dome of high pressure building in from the west. It's in the wake of this cold front. The weather is going to clear out tonight. But before we get into that, I wanted to mention that we have a developing tropical system. It's Erin. It's 50-mile-an-hour winds. So it's a tropical storm. The storm track from the National Hurricane Center does bring this closer to the East Coast, but still the jury it's too early to tell whether or not this is going to have any sort of impacts. It's more likely just to bring some heavy waves. Most of our computer models are turning this storm, but again, it is a little early. One thing we do know, this thing is probably going to become a major hurricane as we head into early next week. But again, we'll continue to keep you posted with that. Storm Tracker 2 Skycast tonight. Some patchy fog develops. Overnight lows drop down to the upper 60s. Quiet day tomorrow. Looks like a beautiful afternoon. Partly sunny skies. Temperatures in the mid-80s, so a warm day. It'll be comfortable tomorrow night. Overnight lows drop down into the 50s. Friday, lots of sunshine, a really nice afternoon. Temperatures in the low 80s. Mostly cloudy tonight, low of 68. Tomorrow, partly sunny skies, some fog in the morning. Doesn't last for long though. Highs in the mid 80s. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. It's warm and it's sunny as we head into Friday and Saturday. Temperatures in the mid to upper 80s. Showers, thunderstorms return Sunday. They linger into Monday and Tuesday. Starts to cool down a little bit heading into early next week.
Dry heat this week?
For the most part, it does become a little more uncomfortable by late Saturday, early Sunday.
Good pool, lake,
Yeah.
water weather. All right, thank you, Bill. Coming up next.